If you currently own a home and you're thinking about moving into a new one, you're probably asking yourself this big question. How do I sell my current place and buy a new one without ending up homeless or juggling two mortgages? You're definitely not alone. This is one of the most common and most stressful situations a lot of homeowners find themselves in. But here's the good news. With a bit of planning and the right advice, you can pull it off very smoothly. Today, I am walking you through everything you need to know to successfully buy and sell at the same time without losing your sanity. Let's dive right in. Before you do anything, you need to understand the markets. That's correct, two markets. The one you're selling in and the one you're buying in. And yes, this might mean double the homework, a lot of extra work, but it will make the process a lot less stressful. For example, if you're selling in Ottawa but buying in Toronto, you could be dealing with two totally different markets. One might be a seller's market, homes are moving fast and prices are climbing, and the other one might be a little bit slower, giving you room to negotiate as a buyer. Knowing the conditions of each market will help you set a lot more realistic expectations for timelines, prices, and also negotiations. In a seller's market, your current home might fetch top dollar, which is great news, but you'll likely face competition and bidding wars when you're buying. If you're in a buyer's market, you might snag your dream home for a great deal, but your current home might take a little bit longer to sell and it might not get that top dollar you've been looking for. That's why it's crucial to work with a real estate professional who knows what's happening locally. We talk about this all the time. Real estate is local. That real estate agent will also help you make smart, strategic moves based on the data, not just your gut. This is very important. Should you buy first or sell first? This is the million-dollar question, literally, for some people. Do you buy or do you sell first? Option one is you buy first. We are going to be going through the pros and cons of each section. The pros of buying first is that you can take your time to find that perfect home. In my opinion, the home you're moving into is a little bit more important than your current home. This is where you're going to be spending a lot of extra time, more time. This is your new home. This is a little bit more important than the house that you currently live in. The other thing is that there is no pressure to settle for something that is just okay. It's missing something. It doesn't have all the features you're looking for. So being able to take your time, pick the right house is going to be a lot better, a lot easier. And in the long run, you're going to be the winner. The other thing is that you could potentially be avoiding temporary moves. If you have to move somewhere temporarily until you find the other house, this is something that can be a little bit challenging, especially if you have a young family. So the cons of buying first is that you might have to carry two mortgages for a little while, and this is sometimes not an option for everybody. You could also feel rushed to sell your existing home, and then you might get a little bit less than what you're expecting just because you're a little bit under pressure to sell that house to move into the next one. The other thing is that financing can be a little bit tricky if your debt to income ratio is a little bit on the high side. A lot of times this is definitely not an option for some people, but make sure you do your research before diving into the buying first and then selling after. This will also work well if you're confident your home will sell quickly, or if you have financial stability, like access to potentially bridge financing or a strong pre-approval. Just remember that a lot of times your bridge financing will only happen once your house is actually sold. Option number two is let's sell first. Again, pros and cons on each one. The pros is that you know exactly how much money you have to work with. You'll know your exact sale price, your closing cost, and your net proceeds after the sale is done. This is also something that there is no risk getting stuck with two properties, having to carry two mortgages. The cons is that you might end up in a rental or staying with family a little while you are looking for your new home. This could be an option, but maybe not for everyone. The other thing is the added stress trying to time everything, the closing date on your purchase and the closing date on your sale. Sometimes this is maybe the safer route, especially in a slow market where homes take longer to sell. But yes, you'll need that plan B in case your dream home isn't available right away. The other option is the middle ground strategies. Now, if either option feels not quite exactly perfect, don't worry, there are some creative strategies that can help bridge that gap. Here's a few options. The home sale contingency. So what happens is that when you make an offer on a new property, the property you're buying, include a clause that says your purchase depends on the sale of your current home. This isn't always accepted, especially in a hot market, but it's worth giving it a try. This is what we call a first refusal. The other option is a delayed or long closing on the purchase. If you sell first, try to negotiate a longer closing date that gives you more time to find your next place without needing temporary housing or renting somewhere. But make sure your plan B is in place just in case things don't quite line up. The other option could be the rent back agreement. So after selling, ask the buyer if you can stay in the home for a short time as a tenant. This gives you a little bit of breathing room before you move. This is definitely not always an option, but if you don't ask, you'll never know. A lot of times people that buy your house will want to move in as soon as they have possession. The other thing is you could look for a short-term rental or storage plan. If needed, line up a storage unit and a short-term rental or possibly an Airbnb. It's not the ideal situation, but it gives you a little bit more flexibility. The other thing is you could actually keep your house and rent it out. If you can afford to carry both homes short-term, consider renting out your old place while you settle into the new one. This gives you a lot of extra breathing room. Sometimes you have to get creative, and having options in your back pocket can give you the confidence to make the right call. This is also why we always recommend talking to a mortgage broker from the beginning to know exactly where you stand. Also talk to your realtor to see if you can line things up, organize things so that the process is going to be simpler and a lot smoother for you. The next thing is you want to work with the right real estate agent. Here's the truth. Trying to buy and sell at the same time without professional help is like trying to juggle flaming swords. I've never tried it, but I don't think I could do it. A knowledgeable local real estate agent can make all the difference, not just in negotiating a better deal, but also in helping you time everything just right. The agent will be able to talk to other realtors to try to make sure everything lines up properly to make it work for you and your family. When I work with clients doing both at once, my goal is to make the process feel as seamless as possible. That means aligning closing dates, helping them understand the financial steps, and keeping communication open with everyone involved. This will make it so much easier for you. Here's a quick bonus tip. If you're staying within the same city or area, work with the same agent for both buying and selling. It simplifies communications, and that real estate agent will be informed of everything that's going on the purchase side and also on the listing side. So here are the final thoughts. Let's recap all the key takeaways. Number one is understand both markets before you act, the buying side and the selling side. Number two is decide whether to buy or sell first based on your finances and also your risk tolerance and also your circumstances. Number three is consider creative strategies like delayed closing or contingencies. Number four is work with a trusted, experienced realtor who's handled this kind of move before. Trust me, it'll make your life a lot easier. Tip number five is make sure you talk to your mortgage broker early in the process. I guarantee you this will make your life so much easier and both transactions so much smoother. And here's your final tip. Start early. This is probably the most important one. Even if your move is 6 months or even further out, getting your home ready to sell and lining up mortgage pre-approval does take time. The more prepared you are, the more control you'll have over the timeline. This will also make the process much smoother and a lot less stressful. We all know that moving can be stressful, so make sure you take all the necessary steps to make it smooth and simple. Buying and selling a home at the same time might feel like it's an impossibility, but with the right plan, the right people in your corner, you can do it. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, feel free to share it, hit the thumbs up, and feel free to drop comments below into the struggles of moving, buying, and selling at the same time. Don't forget to subscribe for more straight talk on real estate. We will see you in the next video. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about real estate, buying, selling at the same time or not at the same time, make sure to give me a quick call, or you can always email me at jeanricher@jeanricher.com. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée.